So in today's episode of It Takes Two, we're going to be working on our kids' bedrooms and the upstairs hallway. We're going to start with taking everything out of the rooms and working on LVP flooring. So you're going to see us go through taking out the carpet, what we find after we take out the carpet, and going through the process of getting the LVP laid and all the things that come along with it. Later episodes will show some painting and some new furniture and a new closet storage. So stay tuned.
Carpet is gone, which is refreshing, except now this is the point where you realize there's more to the project than you thought, and you have this old vinyl that needs to come up because we are going to continue that LVP out into the hallway. So in order to have a smooth transition with no transition strip, we have to do a clean slate. So this all needs to go. So surprise, onto that. So when taking the carpet out, we assumed we were going to find just the baseboards here, but because we had this vinyl, the previous owners had this vinyl down, there is a quarter round piece here. So this is gonna have to be taken out in order to put the new flooring in. So here are the options. We can either just take this out and replace it back in, which would cause this to come up a little bit, and then the baseboard looks, a lot. Are you helping? Then the baseboard would look a lot smaller, or we can take the whole thing out and like the baseboard and everything and replace it. So the budget-friendly way and probably the quicker way would be to just take this out, put the flooring down, and put it back. Obviously paint it. The better way would be to just replace the, kind of the right way would just be to replace this piece, put the flooring in, and put a new piece of baseboard down. And then we can update it a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. And Ryan's super excited about it.
I went with an LVP flooring for this project, which is a luxury vinyl plank. It's made to look like real wood, but it's a lot more affordable and a lot easier to install. Ryan was able to do this project with a few tools, which I will list here on the screen, and install it himself without gluing or nailing anything down. It's a click product, so it just clicks all together, and it's really easy to cut and maneuver into the space that you're looking to do. When picking a flooring, you always want to keep in mind where it's going and how it's going to look in those areas. Since this is going in a few different rooms, including a narrow hallway, I wanted something with a little variation so it still had that natural wood look, but not something too busy where it was going to feel overwhelming in the space. So I kept it a lighter tone with this weathered wood, and then it's got a light variation, which means it has a few different plank colors in it. And so to make it look more natural, Ryan's picking pieces here and there so that it doesn't all look like a stripe or all in one color in one spot. So he's kind of laying it out to give it a nice varied look. In addition to laying out all the varied pieces and all the different colors, he's making sure to stagger the pieces so you don't have seams in the same place. So it's really important to lay out your pieces and know where things are going to go before you start clicking them into place.
Here he is just finishing up in Luke's room with the closets. He's putting the floor down in the closets, and he's using one of his saw tools to shave down the like the doorways and the frames so that he can get a nice clean finish with the flooring underneath. Moving out into the hallway from Luke's room, he's just going through the same process, removing the carpet, taking off the baseboards, all of the staples and things like that, and then taking a smooth transition from his room into the hallway. And here you'll see he's just tucking it under our bedroom carpet, because that way when we go to do our bedroom down the line here, it'll just continue on from that flooring in the hallway.
All right, so we're about halfway through putting the floors down. We have one bedroom done, about half of the hallway. And we're in that stage where now we're just kind of moving furniture back and forth. So before we start putting all the furniture back, what I wanted to do is take some time and go ahead and get our baseboards prepped and cut and ready to go, so that Michelle can go ahead and paint them and I can put them in before I put all the furniture back. So what I'm going to take you through today is just a really easy way to create baseboards. It's the same thing I do when I create board and batten wall. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with a piece of 1/2-inch MDF, just a 4x8 sheet. And we're going to use this Craig rip saw attachment for the circular saw. And the nice thing about this is, as long as you've got a nice square edge, you just run this thing right down and it'll keep cutting strips that are the same width. And
So now that all the boards are cut, they're all 3.5 inches high so that they will cover any of the space that was previously there. So now I'm just going to, we sanded all the edges, so now I'm just going to paint all the edges, get those all covered nicely, and then we'll flip them and do the one side. So right now we're just painting edges, and they should be ready for install tomorrow. Okay, so now that the floors are done in here in my daughter's bedroom, we are going to paint the walls and the trim and put all the new trim up. So we're gonna do right now it's like this icy blue, so we're gonna do a white. We're gonna do Snowbound by Sherwin Williams to match the rest of the house, and that's also gonna be on the trim. And then the doors are going to be black. I'm gonna put a fresh coat of black to match all the other doors. And then I'm going to use a Behr spray paint in Champange Mist for all of the hardware. So that is going to be today's project. What are you doing? Why are you out? Lou? Lou?
As you can see, I do not use any blue painter's tape. I just use a really nice angled brush and a steady hand. Sometimes using the tape for me, it makes me messier, and then when I peel the tape off, the lines aren't that great. So I learned that if I just use a nice steady hand and a good angled brush, I can get a really nice crisp line. I'm going to go ahead and put everything that we're using in these projects, everything from the tools to the paintbrushes, the paint colors, and everything that we're using, I'm going to post below in the description box. So if there's anything that you like that you see, or you're wondering about the color or anything like that, anything we're using, I'm going to go ahead and put everything in the description box with what it is and how we used it. And if there's any kind of link, I will put that there as well. After I got done painting, I started working on Ava's closet. Both kids have always had 2 closets in their rooms, and we've always used it as like a desk space or storage for display. But now Ava wants to use her second closet for more clothes storage as she is growing out of the first one. So we're taking these out, we're gonna patch and paint, and we're gonna put a brand new custom closet system in place.
So after taking the shelves out, it's left us with this mess here. So I'm gonna go ahead and patch all this up with my spackle, and we're gonna patch all that up and get it painted so that we can put the new closet system in.
Okay, we're back with another day of painting. So today we are going to work on the trim. So we're doing all the window trim and all of the door trim casings and the doors. Those are all going to be painted black. So I did 2 coats of the Snowbound on the walls, and as you can see, Ryan had to go get more. We still have some spots here, so I need to finish touching that up. But in the meantime, I'm going to get started on the trim. And the only trim paint that I use, or I should say the only paint that I use for trim and cabinets is this. It's called Modern, and it's by Melange, and I have to order it. It's a special order, but I'm using the color Jet Black. This is like the perfect black. It is amazing. It's for cabinetry and trim. It's a water-based alkali, so it's like an enamel. It's got that candy coating finish, and I love it. I use it for all my clients for their cabinets, and it is like indestructible. So I am gonna go through and do that here, and then I'm also gonna touch up the doors. Before, I had used another brand. I'm not gonna say what that brand was because I am not gonna do that, but I've used another brand before to do all of our doors and trim, and it held up okay, but this is starting to happen, and that is not okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the different paint on it. So this is the only paint I use for clients, and so I'm gonna go ahead and use myself as a guinea pig with other brands, and this is the brand that I have ended on. So this is what I use for clients. So I'm gonna go through and do it in my own house. So that is that. I will see you when it's done. Okay, we are back here in my daughter's room. So the floor is laid. All of the black trim is painted. The walls are done. 3 coats of the wall because the white had to cover up a blue. So we did 3 coats of that. I believe 2 or 3 coats of the black.
And then Ryan just got finished putting in all of the baseboards throughout the whole room. So now what I'm gonna do is go through and I'm gonna caulk and fill in all of these nail holes here, and then caulk all of the seams and the tops so that everything has a nice seamless look. For my materials to finish off the baseboards, I'm going to use this Dry Deck spackling, and I'm just going to use my fingertip just to fill in all of these nail holes so that I can paint over those. And then I'm going to fill in all of the seams on the top and then any of the corner pieces just with the fast dry silicone caulk. It's in white. It is paintable, so I can go through and paint it, you know, in these spots. I can go over it with the wall and trim color. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all that finished, and then she'll be almost ready to roll.